Okay, so we're doing some classic viewer tattoos today. Some of the back to the basics here. I think we got a good batch of weird stuff today. So yeah, let's see how this goes.
This one says, "Sup Remy, here's my forearm tattoo. My tattoo artist, this is at Tats by Canna, almost gave up before trying to tattoo me, and you see why. The double B is from the designer Bali, and the interlocking G is Gucci. I simply Googled earthquake font since I'm a huge fan of subwoofers." What? I was told years ago I can't get a subwoofer tattoo because it would be too black, I guess.
What?
So here's my alternative design. I spent months making it perfect, and now I'm excited about how it came out. Heal perfectly using your healing methods I listened to. I appreciate it, brother. Here's a YouTube link showing how it looked. It says, "A big ass in a clever way I thought of. This will most likely be the first and last time someone attempts to do any lettering like this. So it's beyond rare if you ask me." I don't even know what's going on in this.
It's beyond rare. Yeah.
This is not original, sir.
I
mean, it's original, but like someone else will have something weird like this.
Well, like to me, it's like it just. I don't know how this always happens, but like it looks like it was done many years ago.
I know.
Right?
I don't know how people can't.
I don't know.
Black.
Well, no, it's not even like it's the overall vibe of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not just like, oh, well, because there is some black in there. It's just like the overall vibe.
That's not black.
It's black. It's not pitch black. Like it's not just technical, right? Like
Yeah.
it's also like the overall feel of this tattoo. Just
yeah,
the way
feels
it was
ancient.
Yeah, it feels like it was from another era. Like look at this band here.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't look like anything that was done anytime recently. That looks 1,000 years old.
No, I know.
I just don't know how these are happening.
I don't know.
Like there's like,
These people, these tattooers, like just can't get it in the skin.
but even
like,
if that was perfectly saturated, like imagine what that looks like. Like it's of a time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's like when you watch a period piece and everyone is dressed for the period they're in. This is like a period piece of the 90s. Right?
Yeah.
Like this looks like it came straight from 1994.
Yeah.
Like it's just so weirdly laid out. And like, yeah, all these little like shapes and stuff, like these lines that just kind of give up inside the black here. I just don't know what the idea was.
It's the like rattle of the bass.
Yeah, but like none of this is in any way consistent either.
No.
Like it's some of these, like it's just barely like they just started and they're like, you know what? No, I'm not doing it. I don't know. I don't understand how it looks like the rattle of a bass either. Like I don't know how that. Is this really what this is supposed to look like?
I think so.
I don't get it. Is this supposed to be like staticky or something?
Like the sound, like
Yeah,
the
but
image is like all splitting because it's like vibrating.
it doesn't really achieve that effect.
I think this is how some people would draw that effect, though.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's not making any sense to me.
Uh,
Maybe I haven't listened to enough bass.
I don't know.
I need some more
Maybe
subwoofer
you're
in my
just
life.
not thinking like a weird artist.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like probably just make the letters bigger and have less of these swivelly things.
Yeah, and I don't know
Right.
why we were hiding like logos in these letters either. Like, why do we have to have Gucci and whatever the other brand was? Like, who cares?
I mean, like I will give you this. Like I haven't seen this exact thing.
Yeah.
Although I've seen scripts similar to this, but like it is unique in a way, but that's not always for the best.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know exactly. Like I would have never guessed what this was. Not in a million years.
Well, they know. They like it.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, and I mean, it isn't the worst thing we've ever seen. They covered the whole back of the forearm, so I give them credit on the size and to some degree the placement of it too. It's just like I struggle to see it, and like I don't think a tattoo always needs to be immediately recognizable, But this one, I'm not even within a stone's throw.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't even be able to hazard a guess as to what this was supposed to be.
Me neither.
And I don't really know what, like, even though you read what it says, it's hard to make out what it says. Like, but it doesn't look like it should be. Like, the font is actually fairly, like, bold and legible.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really look like anything to me. I don't know. That's a hard one.
Yeah, it's tricky. Not my favorite.
Yeah, it's definitely not the worst thing, but it's definitely not the best either.
All right.
So we got a big pile of stuff from this guy.
This one it's from Josh. It says, yes, you're playing in the background. As I sip tea, I have been hooked on your videos, watch them in the morning, and as I pass out at night. Much love. I told you people fall asleep to you. You didn't believe me at first.
I understand this, but like there is so much now that like if you were to start from the beginning, I wonder how long it would take. Like if you went through all my vlogs and all the reacts, like you'd probably be watching for months.
I don't know. Someone tell us in the comments.
Like I actually don't know.
How long did it take you to get to the current episode?
Oh, if you went through the podcast, that on its own, like that's gonna take you weeks on its own.
I don't know if like Kevin had a really peaceful voice.
There were a lot of people that have gone and watched the podcast since it aired, like after, like since it's wrapped up and there hasn't been any more of it. There are people who have gone through that podcast and they're like, this was good. Why'd you stop? I'm like, well, no one was watching it. So
at the time, no one was watching it.
That's one reason. And it's a huge time sink.
And also, Kevin and Scott are kind of scattered to the wind right now. Like,
Yeah.
they're around, but they're not in the shop anymore.
Yeah. It's kind of like you'll always be friends. And like, I know those guys so well.
Yeah.
But like, you probably never need to talk again, and you could probably figure out what's going on in their life. You know what I mean? Like, you know them that well.
And if you podcasted with like who is currently in the shop,
I mean, I could always do another version of it, but
Terry wouldn't have much to say, and Alex
trying to
and
get
me and
Terry-
Ash would be.
we were trying to
giggling.
get Terry on the show to begin with, and he would never do it. He's too quiet.
Yeah.
There was always the idea was always to bring Rick on, but Rick would have got us canceled. He would have been well intended enough, but he would have just blurted something out
Yeah.
and gone on some crazy rampage, and that would have been the end of it. Anyway, let's talk about some of this stuff.
This is a ICP tattoo.
Is that what it
It's
is?
Insane Clown Posse.
Is that it?
But it's
How
like,
do you know that? I don't, like, I know the band, but like I would never ever make that connection. Not in a million years.
if it's not an Insane Clown Posse tattoo, it's a reference to their logo.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's the little Hatchet Man,
Guess
but
I
it's
don't
like
know
a
their
girl
logo well
Hatchet
enough.
Man.
Then we have a very gooey, plasma-rich bat symbol.
Maybe I'm wrong. If that's not that, tell me what it is, people. But that's the healed version of that bat symbol.
Wow, healing. It's still
Yeah.
pretty.
The little Hatchet Man down there. This one is actually a Hatchet Man. So this one's it's a play on it.
Aren't they the same tattoo?
No, these are different.
How do you have the same fucking thing twice?
They're different. They're different. So there must be something different about the girl one than the guy one, but it's all
Very
a
similar.
reference. You need to get your red repacked in both of them though. Just
The yellow's in
throwing
there
that
better than
Yeah.
the red is. But also, I think it actually might not be. I think it's that the
It's
red.
fresh.
Well, no, but also the red is more apart from the skin tone than the yellow is.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look close to the yellow, you see holidays everywhere.
Oh yeah.
It's just that the yellow is once again closer to his skin.
Yeah.
That red is more starkly contrasted.
Right.
So you can see the issues in it. Same as the black, right? Like you can see the issues in the black more than you can in the yellow as well. But yeah, it just looks like he's sticking hockey pucks all over himself or
The
something.
little logos.
Like they're just like, but they're the sizing and like the shape of them.
They're not hockey pucks to me. It reminds me of like those like battle vests that like the punk
I
kids
don't
or the
know
metal
about
kids
that.
wear with all the patches. Yeah, totally.
I don't know about that.
There's another
There's
one.
another one. And boy, that blue is in bad shape.
Like it's another it's like a lady Hatchet Man and it says zoom zoom. Why? I don't get it. What are these?
Yeah, there's got to be a whole lot of inside to this joke that
Yeah.
I'm not picking up.
We
but
don't.
man,
I don't listen.
Look at
to
the
this
top
stuff,
rim of
so-
that blue there.
I know this
That-
would have been
it
a
just-
hard blue to
It
pack
just
though.
gave up.
Yeah.
Well, no, it looks like in some places they were really nailing it, but the depth was so inconsistent. It's just like wibble wobble, wibble wobble.
Wow,
Right.
their little scrubbing circles weren't too good in most places.
In and out of the depth, you
Yeah.
can see all through the black as well.
Yeah, you gotta get
This
these
is the
touched
worst
up.
one of the bunch so far.
Yeah.
And we get a close up of this one.
Yeah. Whoop whoop, patch it, man.
Why are some of them so close together and some of them are so far apart? Like, look at the difference in the line here to there.
I don't know.
That's fucking irritating to
It
look
is a little
at.
bit irritating.
It's like ignorance placement, but not. Because it wasn't done that way for the reasons that most people would think. Like most people, when they're doing this ignorant style thing, the placement, it's like, oh, it's asymmetrical, but it's like, it's artistically placed to be asymmetrical. This is just like, there you go.
No, this is like his skin is his battle jacket, man. He's just
No,
putting
it's
shit
just
places.
like, well, why am I not putting that on again? It's
Okay.
close enough. Whoever placed it might have been high as fuck, and just that it looked good at the time, and
Yeah.
away we went. No one checked twice.
I just think all of these could use a second pass.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the worst ever. They're
No.
just, not the best ever. And then we get another picture of the, it's pooling. This is an ink sac for you.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they'll see these things and they'll panic for some reason.
Yeah,
They think that
I've
the
had
tattoo is like melting or
Clients
something.
send me pictures and be like, "Is this normal?" And I'm like, "Yes."
It's like, yeah, this is almost anytime you have a color packed tattoo or heavy black. If you wrap it like this, you're going to have this kind of thing happen. Most of it will reabsorb, but you might end up with like a little bit of like something in there. This, when it's pooling like this, it can bust open. If that does happen,
Take
don't
it
leave
off.
it on.
Just take it off.
There was the one that we had that was literally
She
like,
drained it.
yeah, like taping and draining. Was
That
what
is
she-
such a bad
the
idea.
taping and draining method.
Yeah.
And I've heard other people do that
I
too.
know. I've heard.
Oh, I
artists
just made a
tell
little
people
cut,
to
I
do
drain it, and then I seal her back up again.
So bad.
Just some fucking scissors that are hanging around on the counter.
Yeah.
Just fucking cut a little hole in there and tape it back up. There's a lot of room for error with these wraps, especially for people who don't get tattooed often or have no
just
idea.
Leave them on.
Well, but like, if they do start peeling, you got to take them off.
Yeah, if I always tell people if any of the tattoo is exposed or any liquid comes out, just take it off.
You can come back and have
Seal
it
is
redressed the next
compromised.
day.
Yeah, if you really want it, like I'll put a new one
But
on
people
you.
aren't thinking logically when those
No.
things happen. It's always like this fear, panic reaction of like, oh my God, what's that? And then they start fixating. Once that happens, it's like, that's when you start fucking things up.
My whole existence.
Yeah.
Um,
And then we get the
full view of all
full
the
view.
Like maybe this is like a little family tattoo, you know? He's got the dad and the two kids. I don't know.
That's a really charitable take. From afar, they don't look bad.
No, they just
It is
they
super
need
punchy.
they need a good touch up.
The thing is that makes this work, reasonably well for what it is and for what it is. Because there's going to be some. I've had this happen before where I've looked at like kind of bad tattoos and I give them some compliments, and then someone who had a decent tattoo will write in and complain like, "Oh, well, you reviewed that." No, your tattoo was better, so there was more room for criticism.
Yeah.
Right? This is a fairly bad piece of work, and I'm telling you that the few good things about it.
Yes.
This tattoo arm works kind of because they have very fair skin.
Yeah.
And color will just show through no matter what they do.
I just think you should go and get all the color touched up. You probably need to get the Batman logo touched up by this point too.
But like
So do it.
this lily white skin is the best for color.
I know. I'm always a little jealous.
Like it's probably part of why I'm still able to get really bright colors over it.
Because you're so fair.
I'm very fair, and it doesn't matter what you put under my skin. My skin is still fair.
Yeah.
So that means even if you put a lot of black ink under there, it's the black ink is showing through my skin.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't make my skin black. Because
Nope.
I've had people ask me, if my skin tone is X, can I do Y? And it's like, whatever your skin tone is, it's showing the ink through that.
Yep. It's
Right.
just like my blackout parts
We
and
aren't-
Ash's blackout look different colors, but that's because she's fair and I am olive.
Yeah. But we aren't like a wall that you paint.
No.
Right, it's all just coming through whatever canvas we have, so it will show through better or worse depending on that. And
They sent a lot of these inky pockets.
Yeah, just a lot of these. So, I mean, on the one hand, it's nice to see because we don't really see it. So I get an opportunity to talk about,
Not
these
taping and
Sanoderm
draining.
type wrapper. You don't typically see them sealed this way, like with all the
Maybe
the
this isn't
double wide.
Sanoderm, or maybe this is just some
Could
plastic
just be
wrap.
plastic wrap.
That's
That's how they used to do it.
Yeah.
These tattoos do have an old school vibe to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it could just be a sheet of plastic wrap, but yeah, we don't see ink pools like this very often on here. So if nothing else, it was a fun detour. And I think that this person has sent more since this too, but we'll cover more of that in another episode.
Yep.
So